The full game of Skinfreak is out, and if you have been following my channel for a while, I made a video about the demo, so just to be clear, I will cover the full story in this video. For those of you who haven't watched it yet, or just want to refresh your memory about the story, I will retell the story from the very beginning, but very briefly. We start the story through the perspective of Max, a late-night taxi driver with a grumpy boss called Jerry. Max seems to be young as he is studying to get a degree and hopefully get a job out of it. The story seems to take place in the late 80s or early 90s. As Max is late for his shift, we get the pleasure of having a little chat with the well-spoken Jerry.
You keep this up, I'll have you back to selling that second-rate stank hole of yours behind the liquor store again. Giving out those 2-for-1 spit and stick deals. Feel me?
After Max picks up the keys and gets to work, he drives a couple of people, a drunk man and a very strange man in a suit. Max gets his very first encounter with Skinfreak, who only appears for a split second before disappearing. This spooks Max, but he thinks nothing of it, thinking he just sees stuff, especially that he's tired and it's late at night. This portrays that Skinfreak, the notorious killer, has been on Max's tail for a while, and as we learn later, he sneaks into the car, being a stowaway. That's when we listen to the news about this freaky guy who has a thing for skins.
It has just been reported that the police are on a manhunt tonight. All citizens are urged to stay indoors if you can, but if you can't, please stay diligent and on the lookout for anyone suspicious. Reports have not been confirmed, but our reporters indicate this could be due to the discovery of yet another Skinfreak victim. If so, the Skinfreak very well could be in the vicinity of the lower downtown.
Max soon gets another passenger who talks in detail about a murder scene that she witnessed, with the culprit being thought to have been Skinfreak. This starts giving Max the creeps, especially as he is working in the area that the Skinfreak was reported to have been last seen or thought to be in. This gives Max more of a reason to hit the books even harder so that he can finally quit this job. Max has a lot of ambition and hopes for his future, but unfortunately he won't be living the night to see any of that come true. Being tired, he goes to the late-night diner to get a cup of coffee, going to Gloria's holes.
Hey, what's happening, Max?
The usual. Just putting in my hours as the nighttime chauffeur to the local circus clowns.
You know, you look like you could use a coffee.
Gloria, you diagnose me better than my urologist.
Gloria is nice and knows Max from before, possibly from the many late-night shifts that he had done before, both having something in common, late-night shifts and sleepless nights. Soon enough, Gloria says something concerning to Max, that she thought that she saw something in Max's taxi, even though he doesn't have a passenger. Max getting worried, he goes to check his car, but doesn't see anyone. He dismisses what Gloria said and continues on driving, picking up his next passenger. Interestingly, Belle, the passenger that he picks up, will be our next protagonist in this terrifying story. Belle has just flown in from Albuquerque, having a job in some sort of an office. She stays at a motel room for the time being, until she finds the right place to fully settle for good. Just as soon as he drops Belle at her place, Max gets a call from Jerry to finish early tonight as he is going on a date. Max goes back to the shop to close up when he notices that the trunk of his car is wide open, which starts to baffle him, thinking that the hinges might have become worn off. As soon as he drops off the keys and tries to leave, unfortunately Max becomes the next victim of the notorious Skinfreak, who dies in a bad manner, someone who had hopes and dreams and a lot of prospects. Poor Max didn't deserve this grim fate. So it becomes clear when Gloria said that she saw someone, she seemingly saw Skinfreak, who snuck into the trunk of the cab and went to the garage with Max in order to kill him, being his next perfect victim. He seems to have his eyes on him from early on when he dropped off the guy in the suit.
Alright, so let me get this straight. You got home from your little comedy club, and you find your room broken into and torn apart like this.
Yes.
Are you sure you didn't just leave it like this?
Yes.
Ma'am, please, I'm going to need you to calm down. Any valuables stolen?
Only literally everything I own?
So, no. Just a sec while I jot that down. Okay, and you want us to do what?
Anyway, on the other side of the story, we continue on from Belle's perspective. Her motel room has been ransacked and broken into by someone that she seems to know. Someone she explains to have been the main factor of her to move from Albuquerque. The person in question has left a big threatening message on the wall that they will get her, addressing her as Little Piggy. As she has called the police, they act like the usual useless good-for-nothings that they are, showing little to no interest, and then abruptly leaving after the officer gets radioed in about the crime that just took place in Jerry's taxi service, with the victim of course being Max. Poor Belle gets left alone to clean up the mess, not having the police even caring about her and her life, just hoping that this would be all over. Just busy in the middle of cleaning, she gets a call from her boss, Mr. Bunn, who begs her to go to the office and install a new software on the computers, as he mixed up the date with the deadline being tonight. He promises to give her an extra half a week pay and seems to be a nice boss, unlike Jerry. Either way, Belle, having lost all of her valuables from the intruder, chooses to go to the office for that sweet extra half a day pay. Belle gets on her way and gets to the building where she starts chatting with the night security, Steve.
Evening, Steve.
Evening? It's the dead of night, Belle. What are you doing here at this time?
Steve explains that the police investigating the series of murders related to Skinfreak led them to someone that they both know. A colleague in the building known as Harold. As the police bust into his house, they find evidence linking him to the murders and assume that he is the Skinfreak. They see two women chained up in a soundproof room, one already being dead. Eventually, Steve finally unveils that Harold has not been caught yet, as he wasn't in his house when the police broke in. So he is at large, and now Belle is in the office at the dead of night, someone who could be at risk of losing her life. But with Steve being present, it gives her some sort of assurance. If only she would know what is to follow. She then goes and speaks to a new AI system that has been just recently installed called Miss Apple, who informs Belle that she feels as if someone else has entered the building apart from her and Steve, someone that she cannot talk much more about as she is not programmed outside of helping with Lost and Found. So who could this person be? Could it be possible that it is Harold? After running some errands in the building, Belle eventually gets into her own office, where we learn that she is actually a technological analyst who has a computer science degree. Things start to get strange. Belle gets a call with the other person on the line making bizarre sounds.
Ouch, my ears.
Calling Steve, he explains that he got a call like that too, but assumed it was a prank. In the horror scenes and media, we always have this cliche, "It was nothing but a prank" kind of calls. As Belle continues exploring the building, she comes across Lucy, who explains that she came down here to stay away from Neil for some time, supposedly her partner, as he is having a good time with his boys. Lucy leaves Belle so that she can get on with her tasks. What feels like an hour at least passing, there is still no delivery of the new software, the software that was supposed to be delivered before Belle even arrived. She is slowly getting fed up, as it is already taking too long and she is spending more time than she intended to. To kill time and feeling hungry, Belle decides to go to the nearby gas station convenience store to get something to eat. That's when she encounters the strange shopkeeper who has been out of sight for a while.
You have real smooth skin. Not like mine, no. Mine's all wrinkled, like a raisin that's been left out in the sun all day. You're a pretty little thing. You don't wear too much makeup. I like that. Guys and girls that wear too much makeup ain't natural. It's like you're wearing another face, someone else's skin. Feel like I can't get to know the real person. You know what I'm saying? You remind me of someone. Do you know who? Can you help me? Can you help me remember?
If you let me leave, I'll find them.
Stop lying to me.
Get off me!
I'm sorry, he's sick.
Where's my Nelly?
Another strange man takes this hostile old man away, saying that he is sick. Could it be that he has dementia? And why was he so specifically talking about skins? In a way, really associating himself to the Skinfreak. Either way, Belle is locked in the room and she uses the dropped-off screwdriver that the old man tried to use on her to open the window and run out. She doesn't question it much, thinking that the old man might have suffered from dementia, and heads back to the office. As the time almost hits 3 AM in the morning, Belle thinks to have a nap as the delivery seems to be very late and she needs this power nap if she wants to power through the rest of the morning. As she goes deep into sleep, we discover parts of Belle's backstory in a surreal manner.
I'm gonna pull you from that swoop they keep you so fucking late again. I gotta break my back all day, working and providing for you two good-for-nothing meatbags, and cooking food! Dress this up like I taught you! Don't throw away the skin this time! You know that's your taste.
It seems as if she had an abusive father, someone who was skinning a pig carcass, which in a way indicates the person who ransacked her apartment and called her a pig was most likely her father. Interestingly, in here, the father says that his favorite part of the pig is the skin, which yet again convolutes the story that the Skinfreak could be even her father. We know Puppet Combo likes its plot twists, so it is a possibility here. Either way, Belle sees herself as the pig, which unveils the deep suppressed trauma that she still carries from her father. As she wakes up, the delivery man finally arrives, handing over the new software. The delivery man acts really strange and displays what a creep he really is by making weird comments.
Mind if I come closer? Just need your cute little signature. Here all alone?
Yeah. Well, no, there's the security guard downstairs.
Didn't see no security guard. Don't forget the bottom, silly goose. Since you're here all alone, looking for some company.
He also makes a concerning remark that he easily just walked in as he didn't see any security downstairs. Belle is worried to what might have happened to Steve, but either way, she gets on with her work to install the new software so that she can just go back home. After installing the software on many computers and reaching the boss's office, Mr. Bunn, we read his emails that he deeply cares about his employees and specifically has huge respect for Belle and her work ethics. He even was offered a lot of money to sell his company, but he refused to do so, and in a way, didn't want his employees to lose their jobs. In the meantime, Belle finds a hospital diagnostic letter that Mr. Bunn has been diagnosed with skin cancer, but either way, he is pushing forward. This raises Belle's respect for Mr. Bunn, who happens to be actually a good man. And finally, she goes to Harold's office, or what used to be his, which is ransacked in a rush, as if Harold has been trying to clean out any evidence leading to him. After installing the software, she goes down to leave. That's when she realizes that the delivery man wasn't lying and Steve isn't here. She is overcome with panic, especially after getting a call from someone breathing behind the line.
And that's my cue to leave.
That's when she tries to leave, but the building suddenly goes into lockdown, trapping her inside. She suddenly gets radioed in through the walkie-talkie, being none other than Steve. He is coughing and sounds to be injured. He instructs Belle how to manually override the lockdown. As she goes to the locker room, she finds a pile of bloodied goo and the shirt that Steve was wearing. Next to it lies the security access card. She is horrified when all of a sudden she hears footsteps. She hides in the shower stall and pulls the curtain when all of a sudden she catches a glimpse of none other than Skinfreak being here. Managing to narrowly evade this freak, she goes to the 7th floor when she can open the gate, coming across a horrifying sight with the delivery man being there, having fallen victim to the Skinfreak. Just as she leaves the office, she is spooked by Harold, the prime suspect of being the Skinfreak. He claims to have fallen asleep and not knowing anything about what is happening and not having any interest in listening to the news.
a funny thing. I fell asleep at my desk. Mr. Bond had me working on an important project. I only woke up when these alarms started going crazy. Then I left my office and started looking around for a way to get out of here.
Belle, being on guard, tries to act cool and goes on to find a way out, with Harold coming with her. On their way, they see the corpse of Steve, who had suffered a tragic end and a really bad way of dying. Just as Belle starts questioning Harold and telling him honestly that she doesn't trust him, the Skinfreak interrupts them, coming from behind and killing Harold, revealing that he was falsely accused of being the suspect. Just as she runs, she comes across the half-living injured body of none other than her own father, who is slowly losing blood and his life in an agonizing manner. She realizes that the father was in fact following her, but this also crosses out the father from being the Skinfreak. Being horrified, running for her life, Skinfreak is on her tail, who manages to cut her right hand. She runs to the nearby construction site, being badly injured, losing blood, and at this point being on fight or flight mode, just fighting on instincts. Just as she runs, she hears the Skinfreak trying to call out to her, and eventually he takes off the skin mask, revealing who he really is.
See? Just a friendly face underneath.
Steve? You're... How...
Come on, Belle. Come with me. I'm sorry I had to lie to you. About Harold, I mean. Nothing against the guy, but I couldn't tell you the police were looking for me. Could I? I'm glad we had one last night together, though. I wasn't expecting you to work tonight. Fate is funny, huh? I hid in the basement while the police searched the building. I was just about to leave. I had everything I needed and was going to leave the state. But then you walked in, Belle, and I needed your skin. Not for selfish reasons. I could always see your pain, you know. I admire your strength. I really do. But one look into your eyes, and I can see it. Now, wrapped around me, I'll be able to keep you safe forever. Isn't that a nice thought, Belle? I'll cut that beautiful skin of yours away, and I'll leave all the ugliness underneath.
So it was Steve all along, and he completely fabricated the story of Harold being the prime suspect. So Harold wasn't lying, and thinking that Belle was so close at shooting him. In this intense face-off, killing Steve, who had a weird obsession with her and skins, she eventually ends up in the hospital, having her hand looked after. In the hospital, she is hunted by a face skin, and the doctor appears in a surreal paranormal manner and kills her. It's revealed that the trauma that she experienced on the night where she faced off Skinfreak caused her to dissociate from reality and get a severe case of PTSD, being haunted by the Skinfreak. Eventually, she gets committed to a psych ward and manages to reintegrate herself into the real world. As authors, reporters, and press keeps bothering her to sell the story, she goes into hiding, not to be bothered anymore, and move on from her traumatic experience. In the meantime, now being 1 year past the events of that fateful night, Steve, or better known as the Skinfreak's grave, has been dug up by unknown people with his body going missing. Unfortunately, there is no happy ending here, with poor Belle having to bear the consequences. And that is it for this video, folks. If you enjoyed it, make sure to stay tuned for more by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. As always, it's been your host Star. Thanks for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.